everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Doodling Through Education. Last week, our community and our family took a fall break, which was very relaxing. So whenever you and your family take a fall break, I hope it is relaxing as well. But now that is over, time to get back to work. So today we have a history episode, and for my CC students, this is Cycle 3, Week 10 History. So that means that we're going to be talking about manifest destiny. We're going to be talking about what this idea is, as well as President James Polk and what events happened during and directly after his presidency to help him to believe in this concept of manifest destiny. So I wanted to remind you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't had the opportunity to do so that you never miss an episode. I also wanted to direct your attention to a link that I put in the description. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through that link. It's through Buy Me a Coffee. Let's go ahead without further ado. Let's start doodling. Let's first talk about what manifest destiny is. This idea was that at the time it was believed the United States was destined by God to expand across the North American continent, bringing democracy and capitalism with them. The first time that this term was ever seen used was in an 1845 editorial, which was published by the Democratic Review. Our 11th president, James Polk, strongly believed in this idea. Polk became president in 1845 and served our country until 1849. Under him, the United States increased its territory by 1/3. During his presidency, there was a growing idea surrounding the annexation of Texas. That word annexation means to take forcibly a piece of land or territory. So at this time, Texas was owned by Mexico, but it was thought that most of the residents were not actually Mexican, but were U.S. immigrants. Mexico had even passed a law suspending U.S. immigration to Texas in 1830. An agreement concluded in April of 1844 made Texas eligible for admission as a U.S. territory and possibly later as a state. When Polk became president in 1845, he was a huge supporter of this and, of course, manifest destiny. So he went ahead and signed this bill. This angered Mexico, and on April 25th, 1846, Mexican cavalry attacked a group of U.S. soldiers in this disputed Texas area. On May 13th, Congress officially declared war, despite some opposition from Northern lawmakers. Interestingly enough, no official declaration of war ever did come from Mexico. This war, called the Mexican-American War, lasted until February 2nd, 1848, when the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed. This treaty set up the Rio Grande River as the U.S.-Mexican border, moving the border of the United States more to the south. This gave the U.S. about 525,000 square miles, which was really a giant piece of land. This was nearly as much as the Louisiana Purchase's 827,000 square miles. This purchase changed the geography, culture, and economy of the United States. The territory acquired included what would eventually become Texas, California, Nevada, Utah, most of New Mexico and Arizona, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. Another event that secured the idea of manifest destiny was the Gadsden Purchase. So, who was Gadsden? James Gadsden, who was then president of the South Carolina Railroad Company, wanted to build the first transcontinental railroad, and he believed the best route for this was through part of northern Mexico. In 1853, our president at the time was Franklin Pierce, and he tasked Gadsden as the U.S. minister to Mexico and asked him to go ahead and purchase the land that was needed for this transcontinental railroad. Gadsden met with Mexico's president, and on December 30th, 1853, the United States bought about 30,000 square miles of land from Mexico for $10 million. This land, acquired in this purchase, is now southern Arizona and southern New Mexico. The Gadsden Purchase moved the border between the United States and Mexico even farther to the south, to where it lies today. Something noteworthy is that President Polk actually died the summer after he left the White House back in 1849. So he didn't actually get to see the Gadsden Purchase happen in 1853. It is believed that the stress of the presidency left President Polk in very poor health. But Polk's strong belief in manifest destiny helped inspire the culture surrounding moving across the North American continent and helped the Gadsden Purchase to happen. And that is all we have for today. Go home, research these different aspects of history for yourself. I would love to hear about how you think this idea of manifest destiny helped to shape what America and the United States are today. Go home, talk to your parents, talk with your siblings about this, really discuss how President Polk inspired the culture during this time. And on that note, remember to be kind, follow God's will, and take care.